Hello guys, welcome to Street 90 Minutes on HQTS. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. It's the FIFA World Cup 2026 in USA, Mexico and Canada. So Group A are done with their first matches, and here are the results, where Mexico won 2-0 against South Africa. South Korea also won 2-1 against Czech Republic. So currently on the league table for Group A, we have Mexico topping the group with 2 goals difference, South Korea with 1 goal, both with 3 points, and also we have Czech Republic 0 points and South Africa 0 points. So we're giving you the review on these results, and also we give you the preview on Group B and Group C, where Canada will be facing Bosnia and also Switzerland facing Qatar. And the last one in Group C, we'll be having the tough game, which will be Brazil, who will be facing Morocco. Brazil facing Morocco. In the studio with me, no one else than our man Abu Drogba. Abu, what's up?
So everything cool.
Everything fine.
Everything okay.
First matches in Group A, we are done with it. We've seen the results so far. Yes. I think with the preview on the first match, we got everything 100%. Yeah. Where we predicted that Mexico has the upper hand to get the maximum point. So Abu Drogba, yeah, with Mexico against South Africa, we all saw what happened. Yeah. So per your perspective, what analysis do you have on the game?
Yeah, first of all, make I greet my viewers. So as always, I go repeat it on. You have continue to share, like, and subscribe. As I talk one every day. We are in a World Cup season. Don't forget HQTS Studios. We are going to bring you all the happenings of the World Cup 2026. And don't forget, if you're a Black Stars fan, I know we are all Black Stars fans and other nations. So let's wear our Black Stars jersey, come to the studios and support the Black Stars of Ghana.
And also be with us during our watch along.
Yeah. For the watch alongs as well. So don't forget HQTech, Charlie, the back-to-back content that we will give you. I think yesterday was one of the saddest days of Africa. Mm-hmm. Not because South Africa lost. No, not because South Africa lost. Because yesterday I saw Africans celebrating due to the downfall of one of their own.
Yes.
And it was very, very sad. Even though you cannot blame those who are happy. They have the right to be happy. Yeah, because you cannot, let's say, give up on your continent. If you look at what South Africans are doing currently, they've given up on their South African brothers, how they were molesting them. So others wanted to pay them back. And even per what I heard, even though it's yet to be confirmed, what their goalkeeper said after the game,
Williams,
in regards to how Africans treated them, how we saw Africans supporting Mexico. You see, one thing happened yesterday, and we should be channeling our energy towards that side, but because of what is happening, everyone was thinking about, we were rather promoting the culture, the heritage, and even the music of Mexico yes, rather than our African brothers. Yesterday, one of our African brother, Ben Aboy, he was one of those who performed during the opening ceremony, but no one was talking about him. Why? Because of South Africa. You see how, let's say, negativity can yield as, like, let's say, a seed of what? Of, let's say, downfall.
Yes.
So yesterday, Africa, even though Africa performed on the global stage, it was all about Mexico. Great game for Mexico, winning their first game after 56 years. Yeah. Since 1930, they've never won their opening game until 2026. And if you look at the game very carefully, I think one of the reasons why South Africa lost the game was because of the approach of their coach.
The game plan.
Hugo Broos. I thought he was going with a 4-2-3-1 for it, because that's the kind of formation he has been playing during his friendly matches. Whilst you see Lars Foster playing as the number 9, because of the way he plays, because of his strength on the ball, his hold-up play was very, very good. But yesterday, I don't know whether the coach was afraid. He went with a 5-3-2 formation. You see, so in other sense, even though it was an attacking formation, let's say 3-5-2, but it was all about defense for South Africa. And I think Mexico capitalized on it. Because if you look at the game, Mexico were pressing them because they knew that whenever South Africa had the ball, whenever they are going to start play, both their wing backs, which is Mudau and Modiba, will have to go and join the midfield. So you could see that the Mexicans were pressing them in their own half. And you could see the first goal Mexico scored. It was from a mistake from one of the guys. I think Sitoli, yesterday will be one of his bad days.
In fact, one of his worst days.
Because you got a red card and you also caused a goal.
I think he caused the goal first.
Yeah, before getting the red. Even though others are blaming the goalkeeper, but Charlie, for me, I think the goalkeeper might have a hand in it, but you have to give the credit to that Mexico player. The manner in which he pressed.
Yeah.
Because no one expected the Mexico player to press in that manner. He saw Sitole not holding the ball well, so he knew that when he comes hard, he could have gotten the ball.
But I think Williams could have done better because looking at your 4 and 5, they opened up.
Yeah,
no pressure there. Yeah. But with that of Sitole, someone was behind him.
Yeah.
You understand? Yeah. So the pressing could have yielded a goal or causing them, which we all saw the result.
Yeah, I agree with you when you say he could have gone to one of the centre back. But if you look at how Mexico approach the game, they approach the game in a 4-1-4-1 formation. Whenever they are pressing, they press up front with about 3 or 4 players.
Yes.
So even the wing backs are occupied. They also have an extra man. If, like, let's say South Africa was able to go past the press of Mexico, they would also have numbers in the midfield. But Mexico pressed very well in the halves of the, let's say, the South Africans, and it made it difficult for them to be able to, let's say, go out of their own half. Who else to score the goal for the first goal for Mexico rather than the one who won the golden boot in the Saudi Pro League, a league with the likes of Ronaldo and the rest. He was the one who won.
I think he proved that he deserved the golden boot.
I think he's one of the players we should look up to in this tournament. One thing about him is he kicks wherever he stands. He doesn't have to be in front of, like in the 18-yard or 16-yard before he kicked. Even if he is outside the box, he has the power to, let's say, shoot from behind. And you saw his goal. Once first move, he hit the ball and got the first goal. So I think Mexico deserved the win. It isn't a surprise.
Yeah.
Mexico were the ones going to win the game. I think.
And the second goal with our man, the one you predicted.
It was a very sad day for him. You could see that after scoring the goal, he was crying because at a point in time he thought he wasn't going to play football again when he had an injury. I think for Wolves, when he had a fractured skull. He came back, played for his nation, and went to score than the biggest state for them, scoring in the World Cup. So I think Mexico did very, very well to win the game. South Africa should go back to the drawing board and do their homework well. And let me tell you one thing about. Do you know that I think in 2018, the whole tournament there was only about 4 red cards in the tournament. Yeah.
In total.
Oh, wow. 4 red cards. In 2022 as well, 4 red cards. In 2026, the first game you had 3 red cards. It tells you that this time the referees aren't joking. So it was a fair result. I think Mexico deserved to win the game. Even though second half South Africa, you could see that Hugo Bruce tried to, let's say, change the approach of the game, but the red card spoiled everything for him. I think Mexico deserved to win the game. Yeah,
Mexico well deserved to win the game. Now let's go on to the next game, which was South Korea against Czech Republic. In fact, I really enjoyed this game with a comeback win for South Korea. I think my star player is there, Son Heung-min. I think yesterday he couldn't get his A game, but at least the team proved that no, they are with Son Heung-min. What's your take on that game?
Yeah, let me go for the South Korea and Czechia game. I think one team all of us have to look at now is that South Korea team isn't only based on Son Heung-min, even though he's their star man. But yesterday you could see the performance of Kangin Lee of Paris Saint-Germain. That guy. Even now way I start to see why Neymar they like that boy.
Top guy.
Yesterday they took the pressure off Son Heung-min, even though he didn't have his best game. Gone were the days if Son was in that South Korean team. If Son didn't perform, they struggled to win the game. But yesterday you could see Kangin Lee with a rating I think 9.1. Flasco gave him 9.1 rating. It tells you that guy played very, very well. He did 1 assist. And who else than their midfielder, that Feyenoord guy, who gave them 1 goal, 1 assist. It tells you that this South Korea team, even though their star man is, let's say, Son Heung-min, but they still have the guys to punish you. And you saw it yesterday against Czech. And one thing I think the rest of the team should look up to is the set pieces, the throw-ins, the corner kicks, the free. A lot of teams are going to use that. And you could see that Czech, you capitalize on that. They had a throw-in. Look at where they are, right? I think Kufal. Look at where he was. And he was able to throw the ball into the 18 of South Korea, and they got the first goal before South Korea coming back to win the game. So I think one of the teams to look up to, I think South Korea, right now the team isn't based on only Son Heung-min. But if you joke, they have the likes of Kangin Lee. One has also presented himself that, Charlie, if Son no get, Kangin Lee no get, I'm also there. Because he gave 1 goal, 1 assist. So I think South Korea also deserves to win the game.
I think with tournaments like this, it doesn't solely based on one man. It's a team.
One thing about World Cup is every World Cup season, one player, you get one player that will come out and everybody will be talking about him. This player.
Yeah.
You quite remember
the promising guy.
You quite remember in 2014 when James Rodriguez came out.
Yes.
Everyone was talking about James Rodriguez.
James.
In 2018, we saw Alexander Golovin, who is now, I think, he's now with Monaco. When he was playing for Russia, we also saw Mbappe. Even though Mbappe was doing it in France, but he appeared on the global stage and performed at a young age. In 2022 too, we saw a couple of players. We saw the likes of Enzo coming out. People saw them. So I think 2026 McAllister. So I think 2026 too, we are going to see the kind of players who will showcase themselves on the biggest stage.
I think that's why we classify the World Cup as the biggest stage ever.
Yeah.
So now diving to the preview, we'll be having Canada against Bosnia. I think with this type of games, we will just give some predictions and we move on. So with that of Canada, Bosnia, Budrogba. Yeah,
Canada are also co-hosting, and they are playing the game at home. And do you know that Canada have not yet won a game?
Yes.
At the World Cup. They are yet to win a game. So I think against Bosnia, it's a time for them to go in and try to win the game. Not to forget, Bosnia have the guys to punish them. They have the likes of Edin Dzeko, and I think Demirovic, or what's his name, has started to be corrected. So even though Canada, they are without their star man, who is Alphonso Davies, but they still have the likes of Buchanan. They still have the likes of, let's say, Jonathan David. They also have Kyle Larin of Southampton. So I think they are going to go with the two top, which will be Jonathan David and Larin. So I think these guys can go on and do something and get the first win for Canada, because Charlie, they are playing at home.
Yes.
When to win your first game down at home. If they are not able to win this game, I think it might bring the confidence of the Canada team down. So I think this game should be a game that Canada should be able to win.
Yeah, a game that Canada should be able to win, because even looking at Mexico won their first game
after 56 years.
In fact, they are also co-hosting. Also, Canada also co-hosting. I think this is the right time for them to get their first win. Now let's move on to USA against Paraguay. USA against Paraguay, also a co-host nation. Do you still tilt towards USA getting their first win?
USA are with their golden generation. If you look at the kind of players USA have right now, they have the likes of Christian Pulisic of AC Milan. They have the likes of Robert Robinson of Fulham. They have the likes of Folarin Balogun. So they have the guys. And this is their golden generation. So USA, they'll also be hosting. They are also co-hosting.
I think you've forgotten your player, Pulisic.
Pulisic, I mentioned him. I didn't mention Pulisic. He was the first guy I mentioned. So USA will also go into this Paraguay game knowing that, Charlie, this is the time for us to let's say do something better for our country. We all know USA is not a football nation. They are more interested in their American football. This is the time for the stars to show that, Charlie, USA, when it comes to football, we are also part of it. Because they have the guys. If you look at the kind of players USA have, I don't think, even though Paraguay also have the guys, the likes of Almiron and Ciso, but I don't think this Paraguay team can match the strength of USA. So I think USA should go on to win this game. If USA doesn't win this game, I'm going to be very, very surprised.
Disappointed. In fact, very, very disappointed if USA don't get the maximum point from the first game. Now let's move on to the next one, which is Qatar against Switzerland.
Qatar against Switzerland. This game is going to be an easy game.
Walkover for Switzerland.
No, it's not going to be a walkover because everyone who is playing at the World Cup deserves to be there. So there's nothing like walkover there. You have to fight for the win.
So far as you are playing,
if you want to get the maximum 3 points, you have to fight for it, because Qatar almost says can buy US or someone buy US cricket. They are coming there to compete. Even though Switzerland, when we are talking about the stars, they have the stars. They have the guys. They have the likes of Dan Ndoye. They have the likes of Granit Xhaka. So I think Switzerland will go on to win the game, but it's going to be a very, very tricky game. Because Qatar might go into the game knowing that Switzerland, if I'm able to get, let's say, a draw against Switzerland and fight for a win, let's say, against Paraguay, I can also qualify. Let's not forget, this time around the World Cup, because of the 48 teams, third position might be able to go to the next stage. You understand? So Qatar, you see, all the teams coming, most of the teams coming to this tournament will have a plan. And let me take you back to South Africa. They had that plan, because even if you look at, if you've heard what their goalkeeper said, he said they try to avoid conceding in the early part of the game. Because they had a plan coming to the game. Their best. They know Mexico is playing at home, so let's go in for the draw. If we get a draw against Mexico, not to lose. You understand? So I think Qatar will have that same mentality. They are not going to open up. Switzerland should be very, very careful. Qatar isn't going to open up. They are going to sit and try to catch them on a counter.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
So even though I tip Switzerland to win that game, but it's going to be a tricky game for them.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think Switzerland is going to win that game.
Switzerland winning the game. Now let's go to the Samba Boys of Brazil against the Atlas Lions of Morocco. I think this will be an interesting game to watch. Abu Drogba, this one, let me hand over everything to you.
I think this game is going to be the big game of the day. I think Brazil against Morocco. The last time Brazil, I think in 2022, they were knocked out by Croatia.
Yeah.
This time, they will look to, let's say, go past the quarterfinal mark. And I told you that it's been 24 years since they won the tournament. And the last time they won it, they were not able to win it for 24 years before winning it. So this time it's another 24 years. If they are, let's say, if they want to go past this group stage, I think this way it should start. Because this Morocco team, let's not forget, the last edition, they were also semi-finalists. You understand?
Yes.
They were also semi-finalists. So they will have that vim, they will have that, let's say, confidence that since we were able to do it in 2022, we can also do it in 2026. You understand? So it's going to be a very, very interesting game. And both teams will be very, very careful. Because they all have the guys to punish them.
Exactly.
If you look at the Brazil team, even though the likes of Neymar aren't going to be available, they still have the likes of Vinicius. They still have the likes of Rafinha, whom I think is going to be one of the key guys for. Everyone is talking about Vinicius, but I think Rafinha is going to be one of the key guys for this Brazilian team. If Brazil is going to function, I think it depends on the likes of Rafinha and Vinicius, because right now as we are speaking right now, Neymar is not available. So these are the guys to look up to for Brazil. Let's go back to Morocco. Morocco, who else? They have the likes of Brahim Diaz, who is a teammate of Vinicius Jr. They have the likes of Azzedine Ounahi. So if we are talking about squad, both teams have a lot of squad. So for this game, I think it's going to be a draw or a win for Brazil. I don't think Morocco is going to win that game.
Oh, okay.
Even though I wish let me repeat, the predictions are not what prophecies. I wish and hope my prediction isn't going to be the right one. I hope Morocco go on to win the game. But per where I sit and where I sit is, I think Brazil has the upper hand to win the game.
Brazil having the upper hand to win the game, as we all know. Now, in the comment section, guys, don't forget to give your predictions and also your take on these games as well. I think we can draw the curtains down and also focus on the subsequent matches. So after the game, we'll be right here to give you the current update about the FIFA 2026.
I say before you go. Okay. I say the Africans, those who were calling themselves, those who gave themselves Mexican names are now looking for South Korean names.
Yes.
I don't know why. Then I heard that South Africa's next game was against South Korea. Charlie, South Africa they beg. This one
no. You see, sometimes
or they for they apologize.
Exactly. What they are doing in South Africa actually isn't right. That's why the whole of Africa
before I will come studio, not somebody that asked me, Charlie Abu,
what's your
give
name?
Me South Korean name. I say, hey, what I watch that? My name is Stam. What I say name takes Stam in Wu. I join Wu to in name.
Abu.
No, my name they will come later. I said I talk them say my name be El Abulito.
Yes.
Today my South Korean name will come, inshallah.
Okay, so guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. See you at that time. We are out.